Woof, woof. That's right, that's right. That was Craig coming at you. There's that Craig of sauce. Today I'm fired up. We're talking about La Cumbre Peak. We ask about this all the time. How high do I got to be from EJ to get to La Cumbre? Where do I go at La Cumbre? Because you can't see the good spots from EJ, you know what I'm saying? And our boy Leon Rollard, who graciously enough let us talk about his track from the other day. You know, he got that ski hat on. He looking for that pow-pow. He looking for that rocket moon or that rocket ship to the moon. You know what I mean? But couldn't find no pow-pow that day. I'll show you where he went wrong. We're talking about all the things not to do. He landed in the no pow-pow zone over here. That's right. Oh, boy. We call it Leon's no pow-pow LZ. Don't land here, folks. We're going to tell you how to stay away from these no pow-pow zones. Luckily, he put his big boy britches on, huffed through we whacked through the bushes up the tunnel trail and made it out no problem. So good on him, and thank you for letting us have a learning opportunity about what not to do at La Cumbre Peak. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. So EJ Bull. So conservatively, hey, always talk to your instructor too, because I'm no instructor. I'll give you that. I'll give you all that right now. But EJ Bull, if you don't get a couple hundred feet above here, and you've never been to La Cumbre Peak before, I do not suggest going this way. You know, if you're even with here, or you're just getting up 50, 100 feet, go to the R&R. Make it easy on yourself. R&R is a great trigger to get going on. La Cumbre Peak's fun. It's an extra challenge. But you have to be okay with landing at Robbins if you get rejected at La Cumbre, because more than likely you aren't going to have enough altitude to get back. So let's talk about it. You'll see all the locals doing this all the time. The reason we like La Cumbre is because it's the biggest peak between the two passes. You know what I'm saying? So often we get our highest here. There's a few other reasons that make you get your highest here. Sometimes because the largest peak on the back ridge is sticking out, sometimes we get these light convergences that wrap around it. Helping out with the west meeting the east on this spine we call the G-spot. All this combines for some boom, boom, boom. But you got to be committed. You got to put your pants on. You got to go all the way. You know what I'm saying? We'll show you. Now, Leon got that same advice from somebody. He said, skip all the first two spines, which I tell people all the time, too. But he went a little too far. You see this way over here? Oh, man, Leon. What happened? Where you going? Oh, you passed up the soda stand. You passed up the beer. Pass up that shot of whiskey, you know what I'm saying? It's right here, baby. It's right here. So let's talk about how to get there. That's right. EJ Bull. So he just hung it right. He went all in. He said, I'm going. I'm doing this. And he actually got a pretty good glide across. Cruising this face here. This first spine we crossed, sometimes you get a little something in the southeast, but I would just dolphin. People ask me about what I mean by dolphin flying, and that is we're just slowing down when there's lift, and we're speeding up when there's sinks, slowing down when there's lift, speeding up when there's sinks, you know, so on and so forth. So it kind of looks like a dolphin porpoising through the water. The goal is that hopefully you'll end up at your destination higher than if you were to just glide all the way through without slowing down. Does that make sense? So that's dolphining. So these first three spines, we're going to name them. Here we go. We got spine 1, this 2, and this 3. They all work a little better than the previous. So this one, pretty crappy. Sometimes this face helps you stay up a little bit, but I wouldn't count on it. I'm not slowing down. I'm not turning here unless I'm counting at 3 seconds of being in lift. Sometimes I'll pan just a little bit out to see if I'm still in it, like I'm going away from the train and there's still lift. Possibly I'll turn if there's a bird telling me different. I don't know. Otherwise, I'm just keep on going. Same with this one. This one, a little more luck. Sometimes you get up here if it's a boomer. And this next one's even a little bigger, and it's you know right between this goalie. So this stuff's kind of usually pulling some air up. Sometimes you can get up here, but like I said, if you're not going up for more than a few seconds, if you're just a 1-2 second pop, where you start to turn out from the train and you fall out of it right away, I just keep going to the G spot. Get as much altitude as you want this G-spot. So starting in this zone right here, you're starting to get up, hopefully. Sometimes you get a bad glide across here, and you're just scraping right on this saddle. There's a hiking trail that comes all the way down here and connects with Cathedral. People like to go hike down this trail to get to this climbing spot. So that's mostly what it's used for. But it's a pretty obvious trail. You can see it from there. You can see it from Google Earth. And this is the G-spots, this saddle that connects La Cumbre and falls off before it gets to Cathedral. So so this is the spot you're working. And you're holding that high ground. There's like a tree here. I like to see if it's shaking. I try to get hugging right in that tree, figure 8. Sometimes you can just figure 8 right up this with some wind. But I do not go any further than this. Sometimes I'll come off just a little bit, you know, just to feel it out, to see if there's anything. Sometimes I'll do bigger 8s in here, but I'm not going to go this way unless I'm getting up. So stay on this G-spot spine, work your way down. There's a little triangle where it really falls off at the end here, and this is your to-go spot. You don't have to sweat it. You don't have to worry about it. It feels low because you're in between this peak and Cathedral, but don't worry about it. But when you're about to kick bushes here, or maybe a little higher, give yourself 50, 100 feet, it's time to go. And there's only one way to go. I'm going to tell you right now, do not go this way. Do not go this way. Do not go this way. Do not try to go back this way from down on this G-spot spine. You will never get out of these spines low, guaranteed. They're all in the canyon. It's not going to happen. 0.00001%. You know what I'm saying? So you take what little altitude you have left. It's no problem. Don't sweat. Don't worry. Don't sweat it, baby. You got it. You're just going to cruise around Cathedral this way. Whether it's east wind or west wind, you're going to go this way. All right? And I'll tell you why. Let's look at it. Let's zoom out a little bit. So here's big old nice Cathedral. So let's get back to that fall off point. So here's that fall off point. Remember, you are not going back this way. Or else you're going to end up in that no pow LZ. You know what I'm saying? So don't go back that way. You just casually come around here as high as you can around Cathedral. This back shoulder rarely has lift, but you never know. You may get something. And I've never had it pay dividends to come around and follow this back in here. It's just never helped me out any. So I come across this shoulder, and now I'm coming across the front of Cathedral as high as possible. You know, ideally you want to be up in here, but early in the day you might not get that luxury. So even if you get, I mean, I don't know how you would, but even if you fell off this thing and got drilled way out here, you know, it's no big deal. You'll make it to Robbins. Robbins out here. Let's look where Robbins is. The only thing you got to worry about crossing is these power lines. And these power lines are way out front off Inspiration Point. So even if you get drilled, I mean, you're gonna get out there. And if not, I mean, there's these little LZs down in here. Plenty of places to land where you don't have to bushwhack out. You know what I'm saying? You can land on the side of this. You can land. There's trails all the way out to Robbins, and this has to see a trail that comes off of Robbins down here. So here's Robbins. So you come around Cathedral, you work the piss out of it here. Now your chances are going to be low if you're doing this early in the day, because Cathedral sucks early in the day because it takes longer to heat up unless it's a cold day or we got clouds. But you put in, you know, everything you can on Cathedral before throwing the towel in out to Robbins. You got that? So let me make sure I'm clear. If you're low back in here, same thing if EJ Bull, that's the reason you got to kind of commit. Because even if you come into here and you aren't getting anything and turn around, you're kind of getting, you know, you're in the low zone. If I'm turning around, I want to be in this upper part of the face and kind of bump these faces back. And I want to know I could come into EJ spine at a decent spot. That way if I don't get anything, I continue around to the tit, no problem. But if I'm end up down here, for one, there's not going to be any lift. And for two, it's going to be even harder to get out of this canyon when you're deep. So I'm either turning around if I'm in the upper third of this, or I'm coming all the way down to this guy until I flush, and then I'm going around Cathedral. So that's about it. If there's no wind, you can come around either way. But there's more opportunity for lift, I think, if you come around this side. But, you know, you never know. You may get up on this side, too. I rarely get up early mornings on this side. But that may just be my bad luck. I don't know. So there we go. We got Leon's line. You can see this white line. He went way too far. The only reason I'd be in this zone is maybe if I'm coming back low from alternator, I'll use it just for a bump, just to help me get up to the G spot. But I'm not going to go looking here as my main source of lift. Remember, we're flipping the mountain upside down. Where's that water going to come off? You know, it's gonna more than likely, it's gonna come off this guy right here. Because we got all kinds of things can happen. We got some west that come up, some east that come up, maybe even the north wrapping around a little bit, it all converge. Take us to the moon, baby. G-spot gonna do it every time. You just gotta rub it right. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that's a beautiful thing right there. There's a cracker. Throwing some sauce on it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I love y'all. Go have some fun, buddy up. Let's go float around. Thank you, Leon, for showing us what not to do. We know you're going to do it right next time. And for all you rookies, get a couple hundred up above EJ before you commit your first time. That way you have plenty of time to look around and get a lay of the land. And you have bailout. You can always bail back to EJ before you commit it too deep in there. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, that's about it. That's all I got to say. I love you guys. We'll talk to you later. See ya. Peace.